What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going over one story from Batman Black and White, number 2. Now, the story is written by Tom King and drawn by Mitch Gerrits. It's called The Unjust Judge, and I'm just going over this story in this video because I'm going to be going over other stories in separate videos. Because combining all 5 stories into one video, it can make the video very long, and sometimes I can rush through the story, where I want to give you guys a very good narration and give my full thoughts on the story. So you got some really good masterpiece stories in this whole entire collection. And guys, I'll just say it, this Tom King story is really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think you guys will as well. So yeah, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into the story. Now, this story basically opens up with a church catching on fire, right? So it's burning down, it's collapsing, and we have this priest who's trying very hard to save every child that is inside this church. Now, in the beginning, we just see he's right in. Now, he's a very elderly priest, so he's old, he's not really fast, he's not like Batman who could swing in and save all these children, right? But he's still putting his life on the line to save these children. But we don't really find out if he did. The issue opens up and you're unsure. You're like, wait, did he save the children? What happened? And we don't even know how this church caught on fire. All we are led to believe is a church is caught on fire, this priest is trying to save these children, but when he gets inside, pretty much the church collapses on him and he's stuck inside there, he's gonna die. But that's where Batman comes into the equation. So Batman goes into the burning building and we see him going through all this rubble, shouting the priest's name. Well, not really his name, but saying like Father. Pretty much asking him to say something because if the priest says something, then Batman can locate where he is. Because Batman's struggling to find him. The priest is like buried with all this rubble, he's stuck. At first, the priest doesn't really say anything. And Batman says, "It's not too late, just speak, I can save you." Now, that's when the priest starts kind of singing. He starts singing, and Batman hears it. He's looking through the rubble. We see him slowly uncover where the priest is. And he starts punching through the rubble. He finally finds where the priest is. But he has to get through this whole kind of wave of rubble. Like, there's a whole stack of it because there's so much of it. And the priest is down in the darkness. He's stuck. As Batman is like breaking through this like rubble ceiling in a way, because it's above the priest, and the priest is just looking up while Batman's punching, he's trying to make it through, and the priest just keeps singing. He's just singing about being alone right before his death, and we see him smiling. He's kind of accepting the fact that he's gonna die. He's gonna receive judgments. Now, Batman gets through this rubble, and he slowly goes down to where the priest is. So, he made it to the priest. He accomplished one task. But will he be able to save the priest? Well, we'll see as we continue. And what we see is Batman, he goes up to the priest. He says, "No, you're very hurt, Father. I don't know if I can move you, Father." And the priest looks to Batman and says, "Are the children, those are all the children?" And Batman looks down and says, "The children got out. I tried to tell you before you came in." The priest then responds, Good, thank you." Now Batman looks to the priest and says, "Father, I can't treat these wounds here. I don't have the equipment. If I leave you, I can come back. It's possible. The bleeding hasn't spread. It's possible. It won't take long." Now Batman grabs the priest's hand, holds it close. The priest says, No, please, stay. The light is dim and falling, and I do not want to be alone in the dark. Now, Batman sits down. This is when things get super interesting, guys. Batman sits down right by the priest. He's close to his death. Now, Batman takes off his mask, and he says, "I'm sorry." And the priest responds, "Why are you sorry?" And Batman is very morose. He's sad about all this. And he says, "I saw you running to help. I was supposed to find you, everything I am. I'm supposed to save people. Father, I can't save you. Now, the priest looks up at Bruce and says, "You're here. It's enough." And Bruce basically begins to tear up. It's a very sad scene. And he says, "No, it's not enough." And the priest says, we're not divine. Every man must live and die." Now, Bruce looks down at the priest and says this very powerful line. He says, "I have an oath. I took an oath on my mother and father, on their deaths. I failed them and I failed you." Now, that's when the priest holds a cross close to his chest and says, "Oh, you poor boy. No, I am dying not because you could not answer my call. I am dying because I must answer his." He holds the cross even closer to his chest, and Bruce responds, I can't understand." And that's when the priest says, No, you don't understand yet. You cannot save me. You cannot save anyone but when I was afraid, you held my hand, my son. That is not failure. That is enough. Now you see this very amazing splash image by Mitch Gerrits with the priest. He's under the rubble. Bruce is sitting right by him. He has his mask off. He's sad. He's listening to the priest's words. And around him, you see all these different things that would be at church, right? You see a big cross of Jesus. You see all these different things that would be in a huge church. And it's all coming down. There's fire all around them. It's a phenomenal image. Now, what happens next is we see Batman. He picks up the priest after he's died, and he takes him out of the fire. The church explodes in the background. Batman takes him out and just sets the priest down. Batman failed today, but he'll win tomorrow. He kisses the forehead of the priest and walks away. But before we end the story, there's a back and forth conversation between the two of them at the end. And how it starts is the priest says, Do you know the unjust judge?" And Bruce responds, "From Luke, yes. Bad judge gets tired of hearing a widow's complaints, so he does what she wants. Supposed to be about prayer. Keep praying, eventually you will get it." Now, the priest responds, "It has confused me. That one. Why does the son compare the father to a man who will not listen? Who thinks of his flock as an annoyance, who just wants quietude, not justice? I used to, in my weak moments, I would curse him for this story. Is this what we are then? All our prayers? Is this what he seeks, our silence? But finally, just now, I know it. He is sick. He is tired of our pleas, yes. Though he listens, he does not want to hear our prayers, for he knows. Every prayer to him is someone he has failed, is his child in pain. Only in our silence, only in our contentments will he be at peace. Yes, that is good. Yes, I am tired. Let me rest now, Batman." So guys, this is a very fascinating story. I really love this story. You didn't get that impression yet because it's just written so well by Tom King. The use of the different scriptures from the Bible are actually used well here, because I know a lot of people don't really like Tom King's work because he uses poetry or other types of scripture to kind of be like a breaker in all of his different dialogue, where sometimes that doesn't work at all. Sometimes it is forced, but here it actually works because this is literally a priest. And he's talking about scripture, and he's relating it back to everything that Batman's doing and what he's doing. And it makes sense, because he would say this. The priest would say this at his deathbed when he's about to die. And seeing Batman show up there and be like, "I failed you, I failed my parents, I failed you now, I couldn't save you." It's a very sad moment. It really hits home. And that final image is just so powerful. Or that final page, per se. And I just like how it ends. So yeah, guys, by far one of my favorite stories in this entire collection, and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. So yeah, guys, that will conclude this video. And yeah, guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up on YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe with the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Batman Black and White video. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.